trying to edit my Winco my Winco challenge video, and it's just so bad. It is so bad. I think that the root cause of my struggles with my cooking tutorials is that I don't follow recipe, first of all. So every time I cook, it's different. But when I'm trying to instruct somebody else on what I'm doing, I have to try to follow a recipe. I have to relay a recipe. And that feels scripted to me, which feels fake. And it is so hard for me to be fake that it has caused problems in the workforce for me since I entered the workforce. It feels fake. When I have to follow a script, my brain shuts down. It's like inauthenticity is like incompatible with my brain. But I'm perfectly fine to sit here and speak freely. As long as it's not scripted, I'm fine. It's kind of mind-blowing how bad how bad my cooking videos are. I'm so awkward, and I have so many clips of stuff I have to delete. I don't even know what to say about it. It's just unbelievable. I'm not really sure what I was supposed to learn. Maybe I wasn't supposed to learn, though. Maybe it wasn't about learning. Maybe it was about getting me. It was a diversion to get me onto the right path. Maybe this other... I don't know, I really want to be cooking, and I don't know how to incorporate that into the direction that I feel this channel is going in, unless I just invite you over for dinner and you can chat with me while I cook, and then we can eat together. I feel like that is a reasonable conclusion. That's how this would work out for me, because it's definitely not working. It's not working out for me the way that it seems it should. Maybe I shouldn't cook at all. Maybe I'm stuck on that and I need to let that go. Maybe I'm not supposed to be cooking. I do have an attachment to the idea, and I don't want to be attached to anything. I don't want to be weighed down by anything. But I keep running into this. I feel like in manifesting my freedom, I didn't really know what I was manifesting. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I didn't realize the responsibility that was going to come with that freedom for me personally. And I think the hardest part of growing, at least in this experience that I've been having in leaving my job and failing at making a nursery and failing at making a cooking video, is letting go of attachment that's no longer serving me. That is definitely a lesson that I'm learning right now, because like how else? Like try to imagine what I'm going through. I walk away from a stable paycheck to open a nursery, trusting that whatever happens is supposed to happen, and then watching most of my plans end over a heat wave and still choosing to trust that that is part of my path that's leading me to the next thing, which would be cooking, like this idea that I had, and then struggling to do that and still trusting that that's part of my path. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm tested every single step of the way. My faith is being tested. And when I say that, like, I imagine like the previous version of myself being on the receiving end of that message going, I don't want to hear about faith. But I don't mean that in a religious context. I mean that in a faith in myself. The belief, just believing in myself and trusting myself, trusting that I know myself, and knowing that I have never, in all of the awful things I've gone through, I have never not ended up okay. So I have to trust that it doesn't matter, because I know that I'm going to be okay, and that things are going to work out for me the way that they're supposed to. And I don't know what that's going to look like. I have no idea. When I left my job, I thought, okay, well, I think, and I knew that this was coming. I don't know how I knew, but I knew that I was going to have to go over so many hurdles before I got to wherever it was I was supposed to go. So when I left my job and I had it in my head that I was going to open a plant nursery, I kind of felt like I knew that the image of what my life was going to look like wasn't accurate. Like, I knew that, and the more I accepted that, the more I lost that vision. And it was a really weird experience to be out there with my plants and having had this idea of what I might transform my backyard into as a small business, like, I originally had an idea of what that would look like. And the further into it I got, the further away from that vision I got, and I got to this point where I couldn't see it anymore. And at that point, I either had to feel like abandoning it or accepting it. And I chose to accept that, which, well, I don't even know, there's no end to that sentence. I chose to accept that. And I just thought, well, okay, maybe I'm supposed to do a little of this, a little of that. That also makes sense. I just feel like every week of my life, I'm living a new life. It's like I'm a completely different person every week. And because these changes are happening so fast, all of these diversions on my path are happening so fast. I believe they're happening fast for a reason, because I need to get where I'm going. But because they're happening so fast, it's leaving me in this space that worry wants to creep in, that I'm actually self-destructing because I keep abandoning my plans. Where's the line? Where's the difference between letting go of attachment and abandoning the self? Because we typically we refer to abandoning the self in a negative way. But if part of letting go of attachment that keeps us stuck is about letting go of the ego, It seems it seems to be quite the paradox, doesn't it? I don't even know where this conversation is going. I kind of feel like documenting my failure or documenting my struggle to make cooking videos is important. I think that it's a testament to my authenticity, which is going to be something that is increasingly difficult to prove moving forward. I intuitively feel that, and I don't know. I don't know what's ahead for us. But if it's a world where people like me become what we value as a society, well, I don't even know what to think of that. I don't even know what to say to that. My mom's at the grocery store. When she gets back, we're gonna tackle my pantry room with all my chickpeas. I'm excited to do that. I mean, I'm excited to get it done because I really do. I want routine in my life, and I want to be able to set up a space to have lunch with you guys. It is so hard for me to look in the right place. I'm going to figure it out. I promise I'm going to figure that out. I think it's going to be easier once I have a set place to set my camera up. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting a routine, and I'm starting to see it starting to come together. It's starting to come together in my mind. This new way of existence. It's kind of like I'm walking through this door. Like I'm standing at a doorway, and I'm looking through the veil. And what's on the other side is it's so elusive. With the shadows at my back. And the unknown in front of me. The shadows aren't the unknown. They're not what's scary. Funny. All the awful things that are going on in this world are not the scary thing. The scary thing is the new thing. At least for me. The idea of being in the public eye is what's scary to me. Just as somebody who tried to blend in and tried to, I just tried to get in and out of the grocery store unseen. Try not to interact with anyone. But change happens. Change only seems to happen when you're just absolutely sick of things the way they are. And staying the way that you are is more uncomfortable than facing the fear of change. I do know that. I do know that. Time to clean the pantry.